Joining me now is Mike Jones, Executive Director of Migration Watch UK. And Mike, what do you make of the Conservatives proposing this annual cap on worker and family visas?
Well, first of all, I'm delighted that the Conservative Party have had a road to Damascus conversion on capping immigration, knowing that they've resisted it for so long. And as Keir Starmer pointed out, they actually abolished Theresa May's cap on non-EU workers. But at the end of the day, it's too little too late. Capping immigration is straightforward. It's not a Herculean task. You don't need primary legislation. You could do it with a few strokes of the Whitehall pen, and yet Rishi Sunak has sat on his hands for a year and a half without capping anything. In fact, he's been at war with cabinet colleagues such as Suella Braverman and Robert Jenrick, people who actually wanted to cap immigration. So, I think this is all talk and no trousers. It's opportunistic, and it's not been consistent with what they've done in the past.
What visas would be the most useful ones to cap, would you say, if you really wanted to bring numbers down?
Student visas, for sure. They're the largest cohort. The Conservatives have rightfully banned most postgraduate dependents, apart from PhD students. But again, that was low-hanging fruit, and it was partly their fault in the first place. You would need a cap on worker visas, different caps for the private and public sector. You'd need a cap on family visas, and obviously you'd need some sort of cap for humanitarian visas as well. But again, you need the number to that. You have to be specific if you want to get net migration down to the tens of thousands.
And in terms of the number that would be a sensible number, the government's talking about outsourcing that to decision from the Migration Advisory Committee. I mean, almost taking it outside of government slightly. Is that a wise idea?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, the Migration Advisory Committee have published some excellent reports in the past. But at the end of the day, if they're consulted on this, the MAC will be asked to consult stakeholders. Now, these stakeholders are overwhelmingly pro-immigration, the business community, the public sector, various NGOs. It's like consulting Count Dracula on the blood transfusion service. And, Sunak wants to set this cap annually. And obviously there's going to be lots of horse trading in Parliament. And what you'll end up with is a very weak cap that won't bring the numbers down substantially.
Why do you think there's been so much focus from the Conservatives, at least, on the number of people coming across on the small boats? Part of Rishi Sunak's campaign has been on Stop the Boats, when it is proportionally a very small proportion of those coming across here in migration terms.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people who have arrived here illegally and who claim asylum are part of the net migration figures. But the reason I believe that Rishi Sunak has put all his eggs into this asylum basket is because the Conservative Party ideologically are committed to high levels of immigration, particularly at the top end of the party. The Conservative view is we say one thing during a general election campaign, but we do the complete opposite in office. It's very Janus-faced. But they believe that by focusing purely on asylum, making all these tokenistic gestures, talking tough, that they can...
Mike, we're going to leave it there. Dr. Mike Jones from Migration Watch, good to talk to you.